recording going? It thinks it's recording. We'll see where that data is actually going, how much space I have, how far that'll go. Alright, so welcome to the stream. Everybody that's not anybody here, let me give a sec to tell the internet this is happening. Keyboard's all the way over there. There's Twitter. Eventually. And one last bit for Octodon. Water's in here. And there's Octodon, which doesn't, there we go, yep. It doesn't preview things as well. People making terrible jokes on Octodon. Alright. Yeah, Mastodon. Right. So, two of the things I was actually hoping to be able to do today. First thing, I have this one earring. I don't usually wear dangly earrings because they tend to fall out, like the matching one to this did while I was at a party at DEF CON. So I'm going to go ahead and make myself a new one of these. If I can get back in the groove and remember how one actually starts a half Persian weave. And then, yeah, so this is actually 3 different weaves hooked together at top and bottom. So let's get, which ones we actually have? So we need 6 of these. Can't really get a white anodized aluminum, so just working with plain old bright aluminum on this. Pink, I'll need 12. They all get stuck together. I haven't done chainmail in months. It's kind of been supplanted by knitting in what crafty time I do, because knitting tends to be a little easier on the wrists, although the aluminum that I'm working with today isn't really the biggest problem. And then blue, also need 12. 5, 6. Excuse you too, phone. Hello, fun good time. Welcome to my stream. I know it says I'm doing Legos right now, but that's kind of into the third part of the into the third part of the stream, so I'm working on some chainmail earrings at the moment. Good of you to join us. Join me, I guess. Yeah, why did you just go so wildly crazy? Mastodon. Mastodon. Alright, let's see if I remember how to actually do this. So it's going to be starting with the half of this, half the rings in this one are already closed. So close up these 5. And then it'll be linking these first 3, but do I remember how this actually, and we have lost my first viewer from there. So if I remember how these actually hook together, it's down through that one, up through, it helps I actually get them all, down through that one, up through those 2. I mean, they're all just kind of on the ring together at that point. So that's there. Pink one will be open. Next, the first pink one will be open. Next pink one will be closed. So we're starting there, and then, oh geez, I'm out of practice at this shit. Can I swear on stream? I haven't marked this as adult viewers. I don't plan to be talking about anything particularly racy, but my vocabulary is what it is. I don't know if I'm going to need to flag my stream just for that. So this seems like the sort of thing I should ask the internet about. This goes through... How does this one start off now? And are these 3 in 1 or 4 in 1? Probably 4. And I need to get an extra one onto that, because 3 is just not enough for a half Persian to be really actually all that tight in there. So this one needs to go in place as well. Can you tell how long it's been since I did any of this? Where's this good to go? On the outside, I think this goes there. And then, oh, I can in fact hide that caption until... Alright, this looks a lot more familiar now. No, that's not right, because I'm starting with 3. The first one and the second ring just goes through all 3 of them, so that's a total 4. There we go, yeah. Alright, so blue, pink, white. Pink one comes in through that eye, down through the white, and the Second pink one goes in place there. Yes, Galahad, can I help you? I don't know if the mic is picking up my cat, who is hiding under off to my right over here, looking for a way to jump up on this table. Not the cat that usually decides to be a pest about this sort of thing. But we'll see. We'll probably get visits from both of them over the day. And now everything is in the right place, but has gotten hopelessly tangled while I try to sort out which thing winds around which other thing. So there's a shortcut to doing this that I may adopt if I haven't hopelessly tangled everything, which is to line up all 5 of the ones you're starting with on a thread, or on a piece of yarn, which I have plenty of over here. It's weirding me out that I need to remember to talk at the camera, not at the computer over here, which is where all the chat is going on. Everything that I might need to actually see, I can see over here. So I don't actually know if the channel is live. I'm just assuming it is. Channel feed shows up as nothing. Let me see my channel. Is this actually live? Oh, it thinks I'm offline. No, it's live. All right. Okay. It was freaking me out on the previous page because the dashboard was saying it's not actually showing, so I get to ignore that and turn that away so I don't get the echo back out of my computer. So if the channel feed's just not showing up, the channel feed's just not showing up, and that's fine because I want to be looking at the chat and at the camera, and it looks like just throwing this on the ground and picking it back up has fixed it. Because that's good. Alright, so, and I forgot to pre-open the last 3 rings. 1, 2, 3. Pick this up without unraveling any of the wackiness. And I'm looking at it and wondering if I got it all actually lined up properly, or if I'm going to be off by 1, but I'll just put the whole thing together and figure that out. Because it's just that one and then 2 more last rings into it. But with the foreign one on the ends, you're going to have one for the active rings. You're going to have one that goes through 3 at the end, one that goes through 2 at the end. So this might not be the worst thing. This one's the one that goes through 3, because I need 5 in each, 5 going each direction, and then cat in a box. I should really take a cue from Micah Scott, and just have a cat camera in here somewhere. So there we go. There's the little chain. I don't know if this camera will focus on this one well enough. You can see just the little simple 5-link chain, transparent colors. So, and the earring I already have is just 3 of those next to each other. So I just get to make the other 2. So open 5 rings, close 5 rings, throw 5 rings on the ground. I hope I'm not throwing anything on the ground. These are small bits, and then it's not as cool a stream to watch if I'm crawling around on the floor looking for things before the cats eat them. So I'll try to keep everything on the desk where you can see it all going on. Aluminum, still a lot simpler to work with than stainless steel. I'll tell you that much. It just moves around. Hey, Mac. Welcome to the channel. I'm still in the earrings portion. You're just trying to make sounds on the screen because you're coming up. Okay, you're trying to. Let me mute my phone. Mute my phone. Trying to. Someone is pinging me, trying to see. All right, got it all working. Hey, good to see you. Good for you to see me, I guess. Yeah. Where was I? 3 of these. And I can see the chat quite a bit better than, well, it looks like you jumped out of the chat at this point. I can see the chat a lot better than I did when I did my first kind of experimental stream. So hopefully that'll work better. And then so this one is through those 3 rings. This one still goes through, through 3 rings that way. I'm sure this is not nearly high enough. I'm sorry, last time I said I'd try to work more out towards the middle of the table. Completely forgot about that. So, here we're trying to get this one pink ring through the blue and the pink and the white. They're all jumping around because the rings are quite a bit smaller than my fingers, and I gotcha. Except that I also need this ring in place on that side. And now that needs to go down through that. Get it all together, all in place. Alright. And that feels weird. It's sitting weird somehow, but I think it's fine. Let's get this 3rd ring into there. I'm not used to talking myself through this whole process either, because Chainmail has always been a very solo thing to do. It's not the thing that I'm trying to explain to people. It's just like I have some spare time and I need something to keep my hands busy, so bring my Chainmail around. But now I'm trying to talk through each step of the process, and that looks like that got it just right. So that was my last closed ring. Just need to put the last 2 open rings into place. Last pink one. Last blue one. Just goes through those 2. So there's that one. And now, question is, did I match them all up nicely so they're actually, because they come in, they have a left, right, and they don't come into perfect Ds. They come into stacking like that, and I didn't plan quite ahead well enough to make sure they're all stacking in the same, but I think I got them. I think I got them right. And if not, they'll just be on my ears anyway, and no one will actually be looking that closely. So into the third column here, 1, 2, closing up one row, 3, 4, I don't know what order I'm doing these in, just picking them up at random and moving them towards the center of the table. 5, close the row, okay, doing these from top down. Opening rings, blue, pink, white, pink, and blue. Starting with this blue one. Okay, blue, pink, and white all in place. And now we have blue floating on one side, pink and white floating on the other. Okay, this one's going much more like the first one I did. Next closed ring goes up through blue and pink, down through white, get another pink on there, close that up. Next one, I'm gonna go again. Which way are we coming? Here we go. White one comes up through pink and white, comes down through pink and blue. Lock that into place. And then we're done with the closed rings. See, this is coming back to me just in time for me to finish the third little chain I was doing. Pink one comes up through pink and white, down through blue. Lock that down, and finally we have the last blue one comes, where are you? Up through blue and pink. And lock that in. I don't think there is very much detail even on the, yeah, I don't know what resolution this actually uploads at. I guess it might tell me somewhere. I don't know how to look that up. If anybody is looking at this on YouTube or in the archives and knows how to tell me, how to get me to tell, to have OBS tell me what exactly my output resolution is, I'm more than happy to listen. Tell me in the comments. Hit me up on, I should put my social media contact information into here, shouldn't I? More text, more text. And I'll just go ahead and use Arial for that for now, because, oh, that's not going to be visible at all against that. Alright, different color. That gets to move to there in the ordering. Edit that, select different color. Background, what have I forgot to do here? Alright, let's try moving the text to black first. And is that just gonna... I would like there to be some sort of shadow on this, just to get a little contrast no matter what's in the background, but I think that will have to be okay for now. Outline, chat log mode, custom text, extends, okay, whatever. So that can just sit down in that corner, and I'll just clean up the background a little manually. Aha! So yeah, now that that information is actually there, if you have information on how to get me to tell how I can get OBS to tell me what output resolution it's doing, hit me up in the comments on YouTube, or on Twitter, or on Mastodon, and I'll thank you in advance for the information. So, I have my three separate pieces here. I'm just trying to remind myself what I did with the previous one to get them connected onto the earring hook. So if you see it here, there is one ring through the top three, or through the three blue chevrons on top, and that also goes through the earring hook, which I'm going to have to steal from previous earring that I made because I'm all out of fresh hooks. And then on the bottom we have just two rings holding the two sides together. So, and those are in fact dark metal anodized aluminum, which I believe I have right here. So I need 3 of these rings. I need to free up separate ear hook. So this one is actually built with stainless steel rings because the scales need some help getting in there. So what I'm actually going to do is just unbend the hook, because that's a lot easier, and that wire is a lot smaller and easier to get at than the steel that's in place there. Goodbye. Put that one into place. Open up this one. Hook that through there, and now make sure this is pointing the right direction. Through there. Which direction? Yes, so that goes through that way as well. Where's that backwards? Okay, one of these is pointing the wrong direction. I think it's not actually a thing I'm going to care about because that is too finicky of details. And by pointing the wrong direction, I mean it's got the right side one is coming down on top. That's coming through, yeah. So you see how the V's of the different colors on those are not actually matching up, and that's what I actually did the second one differently. So I'm going to go ahead and not care about that for this earring here. So I've just got that plunked together like that. Close it on up. Hello, the team Pocket TV, LA team Pocket TV. Welcome to the stream. I'm finishing up some chainmail earrings here while I just get these last 2 rings in place for it. Let me check what exactly this went through on the last one. So it looks like it goes through 2 blue rings on the outer one and 1 blue ring on the inner one. So we got through 2 there. I know this is not really showing up on the overhead camera particularly well. The overhead camera is really optimized more for the Legos. And for the mystery box I'll be opening up in just a second here. So get that one in place and close it up. this one over here, same thing on the other side. Go through one in the middle, two on the outside, close that up. And with that, I once again have a matching set of earrings, which I lost the matching one to this in the end of July, beginning of August, whenever it was that I was in Las Vegas. So I don't usually wear dangly earrings, but I sure seem to have a lot of them for things I don't wear very often. Alright, so give me just a sec to get all the things actually put away, which I'm sure is truly exciting to be watching. But it's nice to not have a cluttered workspace. So, as I've all those together, just pop off screen to throw those into the cabinet. Tools go away as well. I don't know how I got into the habit of trying to keep as clean a workspace as I do. It almost never happens particularly well, but that's what I got today. So, next thing I have, and it also makes it so I've got a little more visible space going on down here. Next thing I have is this mystery box that showed up on my doorstep at some point yesterday, and I actually know what's going on in here because for anybody that ordered a Glowforge laser cutter that got in on the super early pre-order, since they were almost 2 years behind schedule, they decided to say, hey, for anybody that was in that early on the pre-orders, we're going to send you a nice big sample kit of all the fancy materials that we have that are pre-calibrated, pre-rated. We've got all the existing settings built into the laser cutter for those. I call that Proofgrade. Let me just make some noise on the streamer. Okay, that's done there. They call that Proofgrade, is their branding for their pre-calibrated, pre-measured, and just kind of engineered to higher tolerance materials. So what this should be is a just box of Proofgrade materials and samples of things that theoretically, if the laser cutter actually ever shows up, I will be able to just make things with right out of the box. Alright, once again, clean workspace, get stuff into the trash. So what is this packing list? Just make sure I'm not going to open up. Yep, shipper from Glowforge. Starter pack kit. Let's see what they've decided to send me, shall we? We have more cardboard, because cardboard always works well in a laser cutter, but now we have the actual materials in here. So, what is holding this shut? This knife is very dull. So, hello, wonderful Glowforge owner. We are delighted to gift you this selection of Proofgrade materials, Proofgrade trademark materials, so you can have the absolute best printing experience. We've worked with a host of companies to provide the ultimate materials for your Glowforge, like custom plywood with laser-compatible glue and premium wood layers. Blah, blah, blah. So, is there anything else that really is important on the stream here? You know that materials can be tricky. It can be hard to verify the material is laser compatible, so you know it's safe. Yeah, I don't actually want to be evaporating some of the glues and finishes and paints and stuff that are going on and developing time-consuming and expensive to dial in settings for a new material. But what they have here is just QR codes on all of these materials. This one is a leather, in fact, medium natural leather. Hello, LFK Apachupa. I'm just opening up a box of materials from Glowforge that they're saying, hey, these are things that will go well in a laser cutter. And I don't actually have the laser cutter yet, but I have the materials. So I might in the future be taking suggestions on what I might do with these. I've got a couple strips of leather, medium maple hardwood finished. It's got a bit of a paper coating on there that I assume is what the QR code is actually stuck to. A few sheets of maple like that. Sorry, getting messages over here. And then we have some bigger sheets, medium clear acrylic, a couple sheets of acrylic, and wow, they really actually do smell like acrylic. Leather, maple, some walnut veneer. Looks like it'll be a, or can I actually show this in the page? Got a walnut veneer, got a maple veneer. They each have adhesives already in the back as well, so I can just cut this out to whatever I want, just kind of sticker it on there. And then we have some maple plywood, lots of maple. Got 5 sheets of medium maple plywood. If I want to make a box out of something, I guess. And then a few sheets of what they call medium draft board here. And I believe their explanation on the draft board was that I need to keep one of these sheets intact because if they need to do remote debugging or do any sort of remote tech support on the Glowforge, they'll say, hey, put the draft board in there. We'll do a cut on that from remote and see how that actually works out. So, and of course, cardboard, always good to go in the laser cutter. So, that's always cool stuff and going to be fun in a few weeks when I actually get around to acquiring the laser cutter. So let me see where I'm actually going to be keeping this stuff. I'm sure this is thrilling viewing. Alright, Galahad, please don't eat that. So, now, the stuff you really came for, the stuff I'm really here for. Back to the Legos! We're on phase 3 of the 75-188 Resistance Bomber. Vive la Resistance. Starting with phase 3. I'll go ahead and make some noise. Open this up. Don't lose the head there. We've got, looks like we're going to be building the main crew cabin on top of this bomber. Didn't actually scare off the cat, he's just hanging out. Look at some of the special pieces we got in here. Big roof piece, some prow pieces, they'll probably stick together like that. Other than that, side roof piece. Big ol' part of the fuselage there. Other than that, these look to be more or less standard pieces. Those little door flap thing, excuse me. Alright. So, gonna be putting this together, starting with workspace center of table. Workspace center of table. Make that a little more visible so we can see what we're working to from here. Alright. Get going. 2 little clear red pieces. Alright. And like I learned, totally forgot to build the actual crew member here, who there's a backpack in the set, but he doesn't actually appear to be wearing it. So put him together. He has his blaster rifle as well. They have their blaster rifle as well. Joining the rest of the crew I've already put together. Where are these guys actually visible? Alright. Where were we? Alright, lesson that I learned last time. Make sure to actually pull out and isolate all the parts that you need before going through to the next step. Make sure that that doesn't get lost. So, a little brown up there. Plunk everything along on the sides. Alright, next step we build the swivel and put it right in there behind that grating. Now building up some more cabin, some more walls on the sides here. Alright, white, that, and black one of the same thing. Black one is studs on both sides, gray one is studs on one side. Another 2 of those, 1 more of those, and 1 more that's only too long of that. Stick those together, stick those out on that one, and now we have a chair and 2 barrels, and these pieces that I just saw one of. Barrels go on either side of that. Chair goes exactly where you think the chair would go. And now we have Technic beams, because everything gets to get stuck together. We only have a few pegs on this one. So this is a submodule, and we're getting pushed down into a second submodule in the whole process of the Lego stack. Start with the prow, and this actually goes on top of that, not lined up with it like I had assumed. And let's do the other 4 of these 1x6s, stick them together. That might be an obnoxious thing to take apart later if I ever decide to break it down and redo it. And then that one, and little beige corner pieces stuck on the inside there, and that sticks in just like that. That's coming together, fitting together relatively nicely. And then we have a handle and a slope piece, and the other whatever the hell. I had 2 of them, whatever this one could be called. Yeah, I got nothing. I have no idea how I'd actually go about describing that. So we're putting together what seems to be another control panel seating zone. In fact, by putting a control panel right there, it kind of confirms that suspicion. So There's some things that come in on stickers, and there's some things that are pre-printed control panels, and I don't see any particular rhyme or reason to which those are, especially in sets like the First Order Star Destroyer. There were control panels that were printed on slopes, and then there were slopes that I had to just go ahead and put the stickers on. So why some of those are different or not different, I don't particularly know. So that sticks onto the prow of this little construction here, and now we have 4 rounded slopies, 2, 3, and 4. Get put on just on the back of the fuselage. Look relatively clean there. 2 long pieces, 2 short corners, 1 gray that piece, and I'll just go across. And these 2, like in a bracket. I suppose one might call this a bracket, if nothing else, right? And I don't have any better ideas. 2 of these, 1 of this. That one also extends over the bracket. Stick that into there and that into there. And I'm looking into the brackets and looking at the red parts there and thinking that's exactly how these are all going to get stuck together. So we just now have the 2 triangles, build out the front end of the hatch here. 1 super long beam, tall brick, whole thing. Stick those into place there. And now we have 2 of these texture blocks and 3 gray grates and 2 jumpers. It's a word I learned, I don't know where I started calling those jumpers, but I'm pretty sure that is in fact the right name for that. And 3 small dark gray triangles. So, yeah, excuse me. So this is building up the inside of that around like that. So I'm just going to start from that corner and move around to make sure I don't skip anything. Well, I'm putting together this little control panel and region in the cabin in here. A little kind of arched in desk zone. And then this one, of course, goes that way. 2 of those, 2 light gray pieces, 3 mini rails. And this is it building up more of this front compartment, which is where the ordnance drops through. Get everything layered in nicely there, and I'm thinking the next step is just going to be putting that beam along there. Now that's not going to be hiding any of those internal parts, and I'm entirely wrong. We'll get to that. Flat piece, rail. Where's my last mini rail? There you are. Last mini rail goes exactly where it should. I don't know why that's going in as a separate piece. I need to move these. I don't know why they put these into separate steps, honestly. They could just put all that together at once and then you put the flat bits on. Alright, 2 more little red tiles. 1 more 2x2. 2 little trapezoids, 1 going each direction. The trapezoids go in front there. Red alert tiles in front of those. And this piece gets to block that up. And now, moving forward even further, got one more control dial in here. Which one? Okay, we've got 3 more control dials in here, actually. So I'm still missing the one. There should be one more control panel spot in here, and it's hiding upside down, right like that. So these two go forward like that. This is where all the major controls are. So we got one more panel there, one more panel there. They're all the same panel. They're all the same panel. That goes across there, and now you can finally put the long beam into place, coming across just like that. And these clippy bits on the outside. Gotta hold something onto there, I'm sure. Keeping going. And my voice is slipping. And be a little more conscious of keeping that up. So we got 4 1x6 bricks, 2 1x4 tiles, 2 2x2 to 1x2 little angle conversion things. This is basically just building up the racing stripe down the side of the ship. But those stick in there. Now this will actually look really nice alongside the X-Wing that I've already got, because they're in the same colors. Turns out they're put some thought into the, more than none thought, I suppose, into the actual visual design colors that the Resistance is using in the post-Empire and First Order days, and how much that's New Republic coloring versus Resistance coloring, and or even how much the phrase New Republic is even being used, because I realize I'm using that phrase out of the Star Wars Extended Universe. Huge part of my childhood. All the novels, I knew those novels inside and out, forward and back. But it was all about the New Republic, and I don't know if I don't remember if Force Awakens or actually use the phrase New Republic across there, and I haven't read any of the new Extended Universe, so maybe they're calling the future governments of the galaxy something different than I'm used to. Excuse me. Hydration's important, especially when you're on diuretics. So these little blippy pieces, I don't like sure if that's what it takes to get a 5 long. Like these things are just, they've got the little axle spot in the middle there, but it's not, it's just getting stuck on the inside here. Like it's not obvious if anything else is going to get put onto that. So, but at this point it looks like we're just building up the back of the cabin. And 2 more. So we've got little slopey bits on top of here, little slopey bits. We've got a curve next to an angle, because that's going to be, I mean, you can only do so much with the Lego tiles and sizes at that point. So, and here's where these backpacks actually come in, apparently. They just sit down in there. Seat up and back here, kind of a reverse observation deck with tiny little windows in back. And now we just have all super slanted grates. There are 8 of them, and they get to go on the side. Stick them all in there. And then, like, these feel a little weird that they're being held on, that they're only being held on the top. It feel like they're going to be a little flimsy, but then I guess with the things on the, like, since it's just on the sides and on the back there, it's not going to be, well, hopefully there'll be something in back and something in front actually covering that up a little better. So, let's see what we can make happen. We've got these little, I don't know, what are these supposed to be on the inside? Padding? Speakers? Is this the DJ booth inside the bomber? Drop some fat beats along with the fat bombs. I can't believe I just said that. This little shelf spot in here, and starting to put the actual roof on. Cute little spot. That's probably gonna have these clipping onto the side of that. Not just yet. Everything goes onto the top. So, how's that gonna fit? Very nicely, thank you. And I've got one little stud in back that should press onto that little tiny lovely stud. Just putting one thing. I had it and then I took it apart to show that little stud, and it's just not sticking back together again. Go me. Alright. Got brackets in place. Push it down actually onto that. So, oh, we've got stickers, don't we? Oh, stickers. I told you I don't like stickers. So this can kind of sit out of the way, I guess. Why is that? Oh, okay. Sticker number 6. This goes that way, this goes this way, and I really gotta just make sure that gets into place nicely. By which I mean it's 90 degrees off. So hopefully they don't bind immediately. Everything is fine. Rotate that the right way. Nobody noticed that. It's not like this is being recorded for the internet. It's not like I'll be uploading this all to YouTube for the world to see my shame later. Okay, yeah, world, I get it. Like, stickers are bad, you don't need to tell me. Stick that into there. Oh look, for my trouble I get another sticker! Let's see if I can put this one on pointing the right direction this time. This one has that grade towards the back of the vehicle. Got that one lined up a lot better though. Stick that onto there. Huh. Looking at the spacing, and there's just a little, you can see a little gap down the middle there, so you can actually open it up so they're not rotating immediately into each other. That's a neat little design spot right there. It would be nice. I guess they just left a gap in there for you to be able to grip it and actually be able to open those doors. Like looking here, yeah, that gap's in there nicely. So now we're doing the final piece with more stickers. Starting with sticker number 2. Place that cleanly across there. Sticker number 1. This sticker can come out of the way here. Sticker number 1 goes just so there. That one wasn't nearly as cleanly put on. So now we're going to put some little clippies on top of it. And then build up this kind of rail deal on the side of there. And then some flat spots for aerodynamics. And then just plunk that down on top of the little DJ booth in there. I'm just going to be calling this a DJ booth, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it's going to be a command center or something. Just plunk that down, open the bottom doors, close the bottom doors back up, and we're almost done with this face. Like, the last thing it needs me to do is put these little baby antennas up on top of there. At a jaunty angle. Alright. Still freestanding. Sits up nicely. In the set picture, it looks like there's actually going to be some sort of compartment down here. Just to complicate things, of course. So, moving on. Looks like we're going to be filling out the top fuselage on top here. So, whoa, this is where it actually gets stuck to. Right. More loud noises for the stream. Microphone's not actually in contact with the table, so hopefully the rattling and clanking isn't too bad. Crumpling of papers is always going to be bad. Alright, so we have a window that comes pre-stickered, thankfully, because I've tried to put stickers onto curved shit like that, but curved things like that before, and it has not gone on very cleanly. So, building up the cockpit section here. I'm having flashbacks to the Saturn V, which had a lot of construction like this. And then, what is going on in the actual nose section there? Slopies, and two little flat bits. I'm sure these are meant to be sensor complexes or some other just little greebling in the front here. And that just sticks right on the front of that. Little random sensor complex. Just sits out, hanging out in the front there. It's space, it doesn't need to be aerodynamic. Start building up whatever that little bitty thing is going to be. What am I even looking for? Gray thing. This. Yellow and brick. Brick goes together like that. Two classic 2x2 bricks. Like that. 4 red side attached bricks sticking together like that. And then we have one across like that, one across there. Building up this top level thing. Stick more of these together. Gee, I wonder where that's going to clip in back there. That there, we've got a bit that will hang over the edge, put the studs in there, and we have a sub module. Two of these, one of these. Welcome back, MIDI Mac. Got one of these, we've got one of these, and we've got one of these. And they all get put together into this funky little thing. Yeah, let me just keep my hands in the way of that so it's utterly invisible what's actually going on. A little piece like that. And that does in fact get clicked right into the back there. So we now seem to be working on this side, and we're putting little curvy bits up underneath. Right underneath in there. That one's not, there it goes. Nah, it's separating on top. Did I miss the step where I have to put those? I'm going to check and see if I actually missed that step, because I think I did. Yep, first thing I should have done. Stuck those through the sides there. That'll hold together a little better. Yeah, pieces coming off on the sides and knocking the guns off. Alright, where were we? Getting the tail section back to actually connected stably. And now building up this side panel, looks like. Building up little sloped bits. Some nice asymmetry going on this. But again, it's space. You don't need symmetry as long as your weight is in relatively good places. As long as your thrust can be lined up with your center of gravity. That into place there. And oh look, we're doing one on the other side. Building that up. So this isn't actually going to be asymmetric. This is going to be exactly the same as the other side, which actually, I don't know if I find that subtly disappointing. I like a little well-placed asymmetry when it looks like it's definitely been thought about and done with a little bit of consideration. Or sometimes just to mess with people, because there are a lot of people that are really good fans of symmetry. So, keep going on this. I'm going through this very quickly, realizing that, wow, what is that supposed to? That looks weirdly unstable. Realize it's a gun complex sort of thing. And hopefully this will have something sticking it more together, a little more cleanly. But it's still, cram that in. Sticker number 4. Sticker number 4 goes across this section, flattens down very nicely like that. And then we have this piece sticking into here, and I don't know what step 200 is telling me to do. It uses no pieces, it's the same result as step 199, so, but it has me sticking this into the side there, which rotates a little. Wonder if there'll be anything a little more stable holding that in place. But it doesn't actually look like it from the rear construction there. So I can't really set this. I guess I can still set it down on the side now, but that'll hold it relatively well. Let's do it again, just in symmetry. That one into there. Stick that onto the side there. Circle piece on top, which gets sticker number 4. The other sticker number 4. And then place that one into that. And that also gets attached in back. Ah, what did that just break off? Okay, it's the end of that one there. See, this is... I'm worried that there's going to be no good way to put this on my shelf with all the other things, because there's going to be something being put down onto the bottom part of here. Laying it on its side is just weird. Something going on like that. But then, will it have something to hang from? Will it, like, settle down nicely like that? We'll find out. And finally, gotta put the canopy spot on top of here for the mid-gunner position, because there's going to be a rear gunner. I don't know what the tactical use of having someone in there is. Maybe they're a spotter for overhead view. Anybody trying to sneak up from 6 o'clock high? Anyway, moving on to the last bag. The last bag. Yeah. Perfectly round spheres. Okay, so these things, if I put them on something with at least some amount of containment, which in my case happens to be my phone, they're just going to roll away. Five stars! That's from a podcast that Midi-Mac and I both listen to. Because apparently podcasts become a thing for them to read their own reviews on the air. Cram that down into there. Alright. And I'm into the last set of people here. So we have some sort of officer, human going on. A couple of different heads. I don't know why the... These helmets come as the faces have respirator on one side, lack of respirator on the other side, and I don't know why the pilots would not be wearing their respirators, so everybody gets a respirator when I'm looking. Ah, one more bomb running away. And helps if this person has a head before I put hair on him. Wonder who this is supposed to be, actually, because it looks like it's meant to be an actual named character. So, of course, everybody gets little tiny blasters. So we got the final 2 crew hanging out. Yeah, what is going on with my arm? So normally when I have a set like this, I'll put in kind of a minimal crew into the set while it's on my display, and then add the rest of the crew to my lineup of just people who hang out in there. But in this case, this is going to need basically the full crew. You got the spotter and the pilot and the rear gunner and the bombardier. So, and then she can just hang out on the little command center inside. I'm curious. She's got no insignia. She's got no emblem, and it looks like she's going to be some sort of important character in the next movie. So, I wonder how much I'm spoiling myself putting this together. So, let's finish it off and see. One more brick. That is not a smooth brick. That is this one. And the laser rail goes into that. Ah, gun's falling off as well. More long pieces. Now there's going to be another laser rail in there somewhere. So this is going to be the side wings, and I won't be able to put it over on its side like this. I'm actually wondering if I should be doing this in symmetric and kind of have it tipped over like that, but we'll see. I'm in no hurry. And then we're putting this little venti bit together. This plus a grate plus a hook. Aha, this is going to be the piece that you actually push down on to shoot the laser. Because this will be a nice button to push into that. And the grading affordance seems to be a touch this sort of affordance in the design. So put this on there, overlaps one each side. 2 gray grates, a 1x2 plate, and overhang. So another thing I'm hoping to do with this channel is invite on some of my friends, some of my partners, some of my sweeties, and do these as double blind builds, where one of us has the pieces, the other of us has the instructions and can't see what the first one is doing, and has to describe, has to get the one with the pieces to put it together correctly, and that takes a very long time and a lot of trust. I'm talking to myself, I'm just talking to whoever's around. Welcome to the chat, Chainmail. So there are apparently people in the chat that I can't, that I don't see actually joining, so I was for a while getting join and part messages, but good to see you, welcome to the chat. I'm just building Legos, talking to myself, and seeing what's going on, so welcome, hang out. And I lost my place on that. Here we are. Getting these two together, and that's nice of you to know that. Nice of you to tell me that. Time to figure out how the moderation works. Bye! Yeah, so I'm not gonna put up with any shit in this channel. I don't need to. It's what I'm here. It's not what I'm here for. I'm here for me. I'm here for talking to people that actually want to listen. And if that's not you, you can leave, or I can make you leave. So that's all. Okay, so now it tells me when people are actually joining. And if this is going to be an interesting setup. Alright, we seem to have people that actually want to have opinions on who I am and what I'm like, so I can keep doing this. Bye. And what piece am I looking for here? There we go. And more pipes. And that gets stuck in like that. And we're getting this really cool, interesting sort of piece coming together like this. And this yellow blip going through like that. And that there. And that goes in like that. Do you enjoy this? Do you think that I'm not going to do anything separate from this? Because I don't know why, like, how you might think this is entertaining. So, oh well, you're lost. What is this cool little blip going on over here? Alright. I'm probably going to have to go into my refers list, go into my lists. You really think that's going to work? Yeah, I got to figure out who launched this raid and figure out where this actually came from. Who got a sense of who I actually am. I don't know how to block sources like that, but oh well. It doesn't cost me anything to ban. There are people who can make that request for me. You're not one of them. Sorry. Where am I actually attaching this to? That. That hooks in like that. Oh, that's a nice little alignment on that there. Put that on that side, I assume. Maybe the banding isn't actually working. We'll see. Neat trick if it's not. We'll find out. Oh, I'm not actually going to be building the engine component on the other side, just putting together the wing first. So here we are. Set this all up together. Little hinge part. I wonder if this is going to be, like, if the wing will be fixed or if it'll be a bend over, so you can actually kind of set it down on a shelf. I mean, we'll find out. Yeah, I think that just the what am I had a thought there. Yeah, there's some lag between the users list in Chatty and the actual commands and the actual things shown up in the words shown up in the stream. So that's why it's saying there's two. How many people? Yeah, 2 of the people in that I'm seeing in the chat list are actually banned already. So where does this hook? Ah, that hooks. Okay, so these are pivotty surfaces on here, but they're not on the same axis, so that wing is just going to be stable on that. And now we're going into the last phase here. Needing that piece, and there, and where does the, cute, shoot the laser button on the side there is kind of disguised as part of the engine intake in the vent. Why it has an engine intake for a spaceship, never mind. Star Wars, especially in a lot of the recent ones, seem to just say, you know, space has an atmosphere. There's kind of this even atmosphere through the entirety of space, and we'll just use some of that. I think in the extended universe, at least, Star Wars physics was predicated on the existence of ether. At least it was established that an X-Wing has an etheric rudder. So maybe we're dealing with some ether parts in this as well. Or maybe they just thought it looked cool. Or maybe it's an intake when you're in atmosphere and it's a heat vent radiator when you're in space. Because heat reduction is actually one of the bigger problems for space. You say, like, all the phrasing and all the memology is that, oh, space is cold, space is this terrible, cold, lonely place, when spaceships are actually very warm because there's no air to carry off the heat. Like every every airplane and ship and stuff in atmosphere is air cooled and is using airflow to carry away any of the any excess heat. But in space you can't do that, so you have big radiator fins or various things to try to radiate more heat away than you're actually generating. And of course, warships are going to be generating a lot of heat, so you need a lot of radiator space to dump that heat so you don't overheat. Wow. I know words. And we're building up this cute engine assembly again. What's that? Huh. That's not what I thought it was, looking at the picture there. Very button wants to go onto there first. And then across from that. Those prepositions had nothing to do with what was actually happening in my hands there. I seem to have forgotten that one. Put that in place. That's going to be going the wrong direction on that, isn't it? That will go across like that. And 5 long with the ribbed barrel goes across there. And that goes there. Putting this together, and it all lines up cleanly across there. And we put this on this side. That goes across like that. Squeeze that in, make sure it's all in place nicely. And then we do the other wing. 2 across there. 1 across like that. Put that in there. And then start building up the flat spot across the top. There's not a lot of actual stuff going on the wings. They're really just flat surfaces, which is strangely rare on spaceship models in science fiction and in Lego pieces like this, because you want the greebling for just a little visual interest, but apparently the come on, stick in there. For the wings, they decided to accept that they can have some just broad swaths of open material, or of flat surfaces, which makes a certain amount of... That's the laces on backwards. Makes a certain amount of visual sense. If you're having stabilizers, you don't need extra junk across them. So why is this different? Why did I do that? This is supposed to go that way. Hooks in just there. I guess this can fold down sort of a little-ish, not really. So yeah, finding a place for this on my shelf is going to be maybe a bit of a challenge, but, you know, cool thing. Maybe I'll hang it from the ceiling. The First Order Star Destroyer is also a hangable sort of deal. So maybe I'll have some sort of project around that. That's upstairs though, so I don't have a streaming setup all up there, so that'll just be... You'll have to take my word for that, if that's what's going to happen. And maybe I'd stream from up there if I'm playing games, but that camera would then be pointing the wrong direction. So I think you just won't get to see any of that. My voice is going. Hi Viviside. Nice to see you, nice to meet you. I don't know if that's meant to be a compliment or not, but welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, Katedrick. I like how it's showing me the join messages after you've actually started typing things. So yeah, if you're going for insults, you're going to have to find references I actually understand, so I can ban you for them. But just sticking a bunch of shit together here on the way. What's going on with this? There we are. This is getting awfully complicated for a thing sticking together in the back here, but I see why it's happening. I see what's actually going to be going on with this, and what they're going for, because we're kind of building up this this gunners module that's going on over here. So just clicky these blits together here. Stick that onto that. There's going to be, like, the other thing for displaying this is it's got all these different guns and protuberances and pieces and just trying to make sure that none of those get knocked off is going to be, oh, here's the last stickers, is going to be quite the interesting trick, actually. So either this will have to be a little separate from the other things I have, or just a little more delicate, because I guess the cats don't normally run up there and knock things around anymore. But if they get that notion in their head, then this one will be a little more vulnerable than the X-Wings or even the A-Wing. The A-Wing is a brick of engineering. It's put together really nicely. The X-Wings, one of them broke when the wing lasers, when more cats weren't one of the ones to knock that off. That was my fault entirely. But so this is, oh, I was supposed to be doing 2 of those. Huh. All right. Yeah, 2x. All right. Back up, back up, back. Oh, it told me 2x right there. So put these together again. Which, I mean, if I'd been looking at the pieces I had left, I could have understood that even in the first place. So alright, same thing again. Who are more people coming back in? Welcome to the stream. I don't put up with bullshit, so I'm almost done here anyway, so I'm just gonna put this together. Goes on, gray one goes on the top side. There we go. Yeah, and then this goes in. I feel like I messed something up here. This goes through. That's right. Ha. Got it. So now we're building up the. So that's the part. Excuse me. That's the part. The whole. Excuse me. So building up the gun mount again for the last time. Putting everything together here. Put that on that. Put this together here. Closing in on the end here, everybody. So when I'm done with this, I am probably going to shut the stream down so I can go have some food, have some water, finish off my laundry, all those things that, you know, you gotta do on a Sunday night. So, all these pieces go together. So this has been fun. I really enjoyed putting this together. I'll probably be doing more of these in the future. You can see up behind me sets I might actually be working on, and those will be more of a longer term sort of thing, because they're not things I can just finish in an hour or two. Not that I finished this one in an hour or two, but you know, things you might show up here to see in the future, things that might show up on YouTube in the future. So these things now, if there's some mystery way to clip them into place, there is, and they just dangle there? That seems, I don't like that. Like, I guess this does sit down like that nicely, but that's just dangling on that, and I really don't like that construction. Normally they're much better about making things like this solid, although maybe they decided there's a reason, or maybe they just wanted to. Maybe they just lost track of what's actually going on there. So we can now load up all the actual projectiles going into this. It is a bomber craft, of course, so it is heavily armored. Yes, hi Galhat. We've got long lasers in front, short lasers in back, but then the really, really cool one that I was hoping was what was going to go on starting even from the beginning. Loaded up with bombs, and they just fall into the shifter, and then got the button on the back that they drop. This is wonderful. So I feel like this set was worth putting together just for that little construction right there. So yeah, that is what I got for you. And right now, I think I'm gonna dangly, it's getting wobbly, it's wobbly. All right, yeah. So I'm done here. Take care of yourselves. Remember to, whatever. Take care of yourselves. Be cool. It's fun.